the most unique thing about their team is Oriri. I mean, Oriri is the most unique thing about this league in general, hands down, without a doubt. But besides Oriri, I think they're pretty good playing around winning lanes. They have pretty good dive setups, and they probably have the most stable and consistent laner in the whole league. Guilty, absolutely crushing it all season. If Oriri wants to host that beautiful trophy, you're going to need to make sure that Art of War doesn't over index on mechanical outplays on the map. They really are good at fighting themselves out of bad situations, but they're going to need to make a bit smarter macro plays in the early to mid game decisions. And that is their weakest point. But with those mechanics, certainly will be able to outplay teams that aren't up to snuff.
All right, folks, welcome back. We've got game number 2 about to start. Sides have been swapped. Art of War Esports is now going to be picking first, and we've got early late sign up picking up second. I'm your friendly neighborhood Shackcaster Shargan, still sitting on this caster's desk, and I have got Zen, of course, joining me once.
Yeah, and already, this is actually really interesting. RLS, no changes in the ban, still taking away the Aatrox, the Xerath, and the Mordekaiser. So they think that, that matchup in the top side with the Ornn was not the problem. AWE as well leaves Aurelia open, and that insta-lock from Anti and War Leader, they know exactly what they're about. They're going into their tried and true classics in Game 2.
You know, it's you say there's no real change-ups from the side of really late signups. Art of War is the ones who are actually exactly the same. RLS is like, look, we just don't want to deal with these 3 champs. We're changing up the team composition, though. They immediately pick up that Aurelia. I think that that's going to go into Ornn much better. It's going to have, once you get that Fervor stacks up, I think that it'll start to shred right through that tank insanely quickly. And in response to the Renata Glask, they're choosing to pick up the Rakan, which I doubt it's going to be a Dark Harvest Rakan. I just want to say, though, I've seen those in my public games, and I need them to disappear because I hate going from 100 to 0 as Leona. That shouldn't be happening. Please stop. Yeah. I beg of you.
Yeah. So going into the second half of the ban phase, RLS taking away the Callista, a very good pairing for Renata Glask, allows a lot of back and forth and continued disengage, and the Corki as well being taken away from Guilty. Meanwhile, AWE going to go ahead and ban the Azir and the Victor. So this is where RLS can really pivot their draft. Cowrie is a player who has a ton of different options available to them, and I'm excited to see what they are. 5 Escape, though, insta-lock Kai'Sa into insta-lock Varus. These players know what they want.
Oh, and it's hilarious because you almost think that I have a feeling that mid was like, he's going to take my Kai'Sa. I know he's going to take my Kai'Sa. That little jerk is going to steal it away. So I'm just going to have Varus on cool, ready to take it. And it's just like, knew exactly what he wanted. And then we have the Rumble pickup for the mid. This is a very different style of fighting coming out of Art of War Esports in this next one with the same engage tools, but they're basically going to be looking for a huge amount of burst damage coming out from Varus. Once he starts getting his procs off, that's just going to be really disgusting. Any tanks on the side of RLS will disappear, which means the squishies are in danger. However, we are seeing the Vex make it through. That is a massive CC bomb that's just going to get dropped on the backline that could be very disruptive to anything Art of War tries to throw out.
This is a super interesting draft, Shargan, because even though the top half of Art of Esports looks identical, their first 3 picks are the exact same coming into game number 2, the roles of these teams has completely reversed. It is now RLS who is playing the dive composition, who wants to get in your face and go very, very aggressively and be the beatdown and slam into you. And it is Art of War who is trying to play the front to back and layer, massive amounts of crowd control over a line, of targets who are just directly in front of them. So it's very interesting because despite similar drafts, RLS is going for something completely different in terms of the execution of this game, and I like the change.
Yeah, and it's really kind of interesting. Before we start jumping onto the rift here, basically, I really like the color coordination coming out of these two teams because if you look at it, it's kind of the FOF color scheme. You've got the red on one side and the purple on the other. Like I just want to point that out.
I mean, I didn't even notice that, but that's incredible. Well, we're going to be getting into game here very shortly, and just like in the last one, actually, as I look across these teams for like important matchups, my eyes are once again drawn to the mid lane here. Cowrie's Vex has been an absolute menace in solo queue. 74 games played, second highest mastery or second highest played this season, has been really, really powerful, and can be a very strong follow up to War Leader's Engage in this match. Cowrie, though, playing the Rumble, or excuse me, Guilty playing the Rumble is really interesting because this is not a character that we see all that much. Except in Friend or Foe. Like, we have Katarina to count, and we've got Guilty. Those are kind of the two Katarina guys. And he's got a crazy high win rate on it, but much less games played. And I'm excited to see, what Guilty is able to do, because he should have the early game push, should be able to make things happen. RLS doing a bit of bush stacking here. Might go for a late invade.
They're gonna go for a invade right here. I do expect to see this push. We are getting a little bit of a pause come out here. So we'll have to see how quickly this pause lasts. I'm not exactly sure what happened here. It does look like Kaiza has no items, so maybe there was just a misclick. They're like, hey, give me a chance to go back. Art of War. Oh, looks like Aurora might have disconnected and reconnected, so that might be what the issue is.
Well, that's good, because that gives us some time to, chat about what we expect out of this game. So RLS is taking the position of the beatdown team at this point. They are the team that has the tempo advantage. They can get fights started anywhere and everywhere that they want to on the map. And so I'm anticipating them to be much more aggressive in this game, and you can already see that happening with this vision that they're trying to get down early. For AWE, I'm tentative about this team because they sort of have this mixed identity in that Ariri and Amid can play like really good disengage, but Guilty and Total Trash would love to be like charging forward. So I'm interested to see if AWE is going to be able to temper their aggression and like go in at the proper time now that they have this new AD carry and mid lane added to their composition.
Yeah. Well, that's one of the reasons I actually prefer the Varus pickup here over Kaiza in the last game, because Varus is going to be able to snipe with that arrow and able to hit some targets at a fair distance. And then if they manage to hit the corrupting chain as well, then they'll actually be able to get those the stacks immediately dropped onto multiple targets and just have a huge amount of burst potential follow up with the initial engage. And then if you Guilty drops that equalizer right, I feel like it's folding in a little bit more comfortably than last comp. The thing that I'm most worried about, though, is just what Cowrie's Vex is going to be doing, because like we mentioned in the draft, it's a very comfortable champ that they're used to playing on, and the fear on that CC that they're able to just drop on the back line, it's insanely disruptive, and it can just cause you so many issues because it lasts so much longer than you expect it to.
Yeah. And, Cowrie as well on this Vex is really great in the 2v2 skirmish, but so is Guilty's Rumble, right? If you can land an equalizer on top of the cease and desist from Total Trash, that character, I don't care what character it is in the game, that character is dead, right? They are gone, obliterated off the face of the map. So, as the action heats up in this game, I expect that both junglers will sort of path towards that mid lane and look to, work together with their mid laner to try and make action happen across the map. But they need to get to those level 6s before that happens.
Absolutely. And it's funny, every time you say action, I immediately think Akshan, just cause. And now we're gonna hop in here, start seeing damage popping off right away. Fight breaking out in the top lane, just like last time. But there we go. River Stacks firmly put this lane in Anti's favor. He's like, look, I don't mind dueling. I'm going to feel much more comfortable going in against this Ornn this way. So they're just going to try and face it off early. We have a much earlier cull coming out from the Varus this game rather than Kaiza's pick last time. So really likes that item. Amid is very comfortable just being like, I know how to CS well, so I'm going to make sure that I pick that up to get that extra gold. And that is just going to allow them to do so much as this game progresses. In the meantime, Oriri getting some nice poke off, has not managed to proc the Guardian yet, though. So that is going to be a bit of a problem if a fight engages here at level 3.
Yeah, I mean, Tef has looked so good on this Recon, not just in the Heroic League, but in the Mythic League as well. So I really like that they're going to that for an early game. But look at this damage from Anti.
Great done, but Trollsing gets the brittle proc. Total Trash is to assist. They are going to throw out the Vault Breaker. There it is. It finally hits. Charge finally coming off. Gets a nice set of denting blows on Anti. Are they going to be able to get the third? They do manage to get the third proc, but the stun is not going to be enough as we see First Blood picked up. Great burn from that red buff.
Yeah, and a great decision from Total Trash to leverage that early game. Does a 3-camp gank top, catches Anti by surprise, and once again, just like in the previous game, Anti forced a TP back early with a wave that is frozen against him. Trollsing you, once again, just getting the early advantage, but now it's War Leader's turn with the cross-map play.
There we go. Cross-map play coming out from War Leader, looking for this hard engage. Oriri's going to be the one who finds themselves getting hit by that boar, taking the double smack from the flail. They're going to be able to get away from the Rakan, knock up the Grand Entrance, but it's not going to be enough as the stacks burn away the life from the Varus. Then we have the bailout coming up. It's not going to keep Varus alive, though, but that is going to be a 1-for-1 in the bot lane. I think that that's actually going to be really good for a mid, though we are going to see Kai'Sa able to stick around just a little bit longer.
Yeah, only summoner spell available on that bot side is going to be Escape's Cleanse. So both junglers, heavily incentivized to return down there in the future. Meanwhile, Oriri making advantage of this time to maybe get a roam off in the mid lane.
They are running forward into this mid lane. Unfortunately, Cowrie's going to be right next to their base. The bailout is going to get thrown out a little bit early. The root, the pullback means Cowrie's going to have to flash away to stay alive. Is the Ignite going to be enough? Not quite, as the pot is going to keep them
Look at Total Trash, though.
Above 0.
Look at Total Trash, though.
Looking for the angle. Side angle. Vault Breaker finds the target. And that is going to be another kill onto Total Trash.
Yeah, really, really well played from AWE. They know how to take these advantages, and they're proving time and time again that they are willing to scrap in these early game battles, and it has worked out wonderfully for them thus far. Man, I can't get enough about watching this team. I could watch this team go all day, Sherigan.
This is a far cry from the Art of War we saw at the beginning of the season. A very different team. Yeah. I just absolutely crazy. We got so many fights breaking across the map, and already, like, this momentum, once again, we're seeing it's partially, I think, game 1 momentum, but also the fact that now that they've got control of this, they've already pulled ahead. It's only 1.5k gold, but you love seeing that at 5 minutes. It's perfect opportunity to be in. Dragon is up. I expect to see Vi making their way over there, so we'll be seeing Total Trash looking to take that out. Level 6
E available.
No E available for Trollsing. They're gonna have to flash away, so they aren't able to bell his breath out. Very well timed by War Leader. Unfortunately, not able to quite make the same impact in the top lane as we've seen the junglers doing. But still, that's going to be pretty devastating. Yeah. It is pushing into him, though. Trollsing is probably very happy about that.
Yeah, Trollsing, once again, still under siege. War Leader looking back, but spotted out. Trollsing, you not going to fall for it. Going to take, the conservative approach. But, things are looking up for RLS. I do have to say, one thing that we haven't yet talked is that RLS is a team that traditionally has a huge playoff buff. This is a team that only gets stronger the later into a series we get.
Dodging the stun. Art of War. Anti going into the tower. What are you doing?
He hit 6.
We see the, oh my goodness gracious, under the tower. Takes another shot, and that is going to be Trollsing winning the 1v1.
Winning the 1v1 at level 5, did not have the ultimate available, and was tanking about 2 waves worth of minions. I was as surprised as Anti was that Trollsing was willing to take that fight, but again, Trollsing knows his character, knows these top lane matchups, and has just looked so incredible in that top side.
Goodness, it's just absolutely disgusting. The ability to survive the Vanguard's edge, just even under their tower, Anti just kind of overstepping a pixel. You hate it when that happens.
Yeah. I mean, Anti, to his credit, has earned a CS lead for the Aurelia, so it's not quite all doom and gloom. You know, both characters still certainly within the running, but you know, this is not looking great for AWE early on. You would appreciate Anti, you know, this player who has traditionally been a star performer on RLS. You know, on his signature champion, you would expect that to do more, and unfortunately, kicking off the game 0-2 is not where you want to be.
This is true. However, it's with assistance coming from Total Trash that they've fallen behind. And the thing is, Julius Caesar was not killed by one person. It took 8 people to stab them in the back in order to take him out. So that's kind of exactly what we're seeing here, as the Emperor seems to be getting taken off that top lane throne. I know we mentioned it last game, but it's just Art of War is continuing that trend. They're like, we are focusing top side. We know that that's our weak side, so we're going to crush it as much as possible by sending our laners up there as often as we can.
Yeah, Total Trash hanging around this bot side might look for a play on a Cowrie. Cowrie has absolutely no vision.
Vault Breaker is not going to find the target to hit, but we're going to see the cease and desist cause the CC, and there we go. The equalizer means that there is nowhere for Vex to go, and they get their wish and pass away. So that is going to be Cowrie picking up the kill. Tef taking a tower shot for their troubles, dodging the route from Varus, though, does mean that they are going to be perfectly fine. But unfortunately, as this tower starts to fall, Sejuani is looking for the engage on top lane. Ornn is going to be in a bit of a threatened position, but it's a great cross-map play coming out from Art of War.
Yeah, I mean, Art of War is doing such a good job of playing as a team, moving together, supporting one another's plays. You know, Total Trash has just looked so good in terms of where they are on the map.
Unfortunately, it has to go in the wrong direction, and the Grand Entrance is going to find a double knockup. A mid is going to get burned. They have to cleanse the Ignite.
No way!
Survive it! The manages. Oh my goodness, that was absolutely crazy. The hostile takeover and the bailout means that a mid is able to survive.
What a turnaround from the side of AWE. This bottom lane, you know, knows their stuff, able to just barely survive on the knife's edge fight. Tef, you know, I have to think that two-man knockup looked extremely convincing. I thought for sure a mid was going to go down, but has the burst damage even without the ultimate, lands all of those key abilities onto escape, takes the early kill, and, you know, they're going to be walking away very happy. Shield bow completed as well, so extraordinarily strong in that bot lane.
That I have to double check exactly how hostile takeover works, because I'm pretty sure that they automatically target champions first over minions. I believe they take priority.
Correct.
Even if it's your allied minions. So that was almost a very bad spot by forcing Kai'Sa just to continue auto attacking the Varus, but the bailout was there and ready. So very, very lucky. The CC was able to slow them down enough, but still, I got a little bit excited there just to see that killing his own teammate would have been a little interesting. With this pause, though, we do have another situation. I think it might be an Art of War side of things. I'm not positive, though. But with the way things are going, we did see the Rift Herald taken by Sejuani during that, so we're about to see it dropped on the bot side. I think they're going to try and force the whole thing and try and loop around behind Trollsing You.
Yeah, we'll have to see. War Leader right now just trying to get any advantage he can. Because Total Trash has spent so much time out and about and getting these camps, this will allow War Leader the opportunity to get a small CS lead. But Total Trash, again, has just done such a great job of being where his team needs him to be. Great stun by Anti, going to get a pretty decent trade on the Trollsing You.
No, unfortunately, not going to be... I think it's going to be a situation where it's not quite enough to actually lock them down. So that'll be... Like, we're going to see a decent amount of damage onto Trollsing, but still, going unstoppable to avoid getting locked down. Very well played. Trollsing has been enjoying that Bellows Breath so much.
Yeah, I mean, Ornn is a character that has a lot of hidden depth. I mean, people look at him and go, haha, tank go burr, but he's got a lot of stuff to him. You know, being able to go unstoppable on a moment's notice with that W can be absolutely massive, as we see multiple members making their way towards this mid lane. War Leader looking at the fight, not going to take it.
Ariri's going to flash out, get the root, does not manage to get the launch. We are seeing the Vault Breaker manage to not get multiple knockups. That is going to be a dead Vex. Very well played bailout on the Vi as they went under tower to make sure that they stay safe. War Leader is kind of like trying to keep them off of this tower, but unfortunately not able to. Great job by Oriri with these roots, getting the flashes, the aggressive plays. Meantime, we're seeing great roots coming out from Trolls
Oh
and
my God.
Nice knock up. The double hit on to Anti, but we're going to see them barely get away. It's going to require the flash to secure the kill. Beautifully done by both top laners, but unfortunately for Anti, Trolls you came out on top.
Yeah, really, really good mastery of this Ornn. And AWE as well, in that mid lane, I said in the pregame, you land that equalizer, you land the cease and desist, that is a dead character every single time. And AWE knows what they can do, and that's what they're going for. Cleanse burned as well from Escape.
Very good cleanse burn from Escape means that the slow's not going to hit them. The Grand Entrance is going to put Varus in a nasty position. They don't have Oriri to bail them out. Are they going to get the stacks? They are not, and a shutdown is going to go over to Kai'Sa. That is going to be great for Escape, getting some gold back into their pockets, trying to reset this lane, get themselves into a good position. Oriri waiting to push in on this tower. They do have assistance from Total Trash. Are we going to see a hostile takeover thrown out here? We are seeing the Rift Herald launched back, but it's not going to be enough to stop it. It's still going to find its target, and that is going to be a nice chunk of tower plating going over to the side of RLS.
Yeah, so despite about a 2,000 gold lead for AWE this into the game, oh my God, look at AWE's positioning.
I love it. I love AWE's positioning. They're like, no, we ain't done with this. We're going to keep fighting. You let your jungler leave, so we're going to chase after you. The total, oh my goodness, the hostile taker does find a target, does not manage to get the Kai'Sa procs off. So that is going to be really, really interesting. One thing that we didn't mention last game that I think would have been important, got a fight going on here in the mid lane. Guilty's getting a little hyper aggressive there. We're not able to secure a kill, though. But we didn't mention this last game with the Ornn, the ornaments and how big of a deal they're going to make as this game progresses. Because you've already got the shield bow, you've already got the Hextech gun belt, Divine Sunderer. All of those are going to become terrifying when they evolve.
Oh, for sure. And Trolling You also opting to get the Anathema's chains early to really ensure that he's going to be extra protected in this side lane against Anti. I think it's a very intelligent choice. For the early game, you can slap that on Anti, and then in the late game, you can perhaps put it on Kai'Sa, and just really itemize specifically to fight the thing that you're intending to fight. So great itemization out of them, and Anti trying to get some stuff done, has the Bork power spike completed, so this is the moment where Aurelia becomes that, extraordinarily powerful duelist, and Trolling You going to have to play a little bit more reserved in this top side, despite those 2 early kills.
Right, and with the Kraken Slayer on Kai'Sa, we're already to see a lot of burst damage coming out on that third auto attack, and on the passive procs. Now, the interesting thing is I do know that Ginsu's is a fairly popular item on Kai'Sa lately, on some of the builds that I've seen. So, but if you build that, I do believe that the hostile takeover will have enough CC at its max level to cause you to hit 3 times on your allies, which would proc the passive damage, and that could be devastating for Kai'Sa. So I wonder if that's going to be a choice that they make going into this. Ooh,
yeah,
Hex
we'll have
Gates.
to see. Offside, we got the dragon. Oh my goodness!
Nice fight. The hostile takeover pushing Rakan into it. Teth getting caught back out. That's going to be unfortunate as they take multiple auto attacks. Great split decision making by Oriri. Talk about focusing on the right targets.
Yeah, AWE just looks so clean. They just execute play after play after play. They catch War Leader, spot him out on the ward top side, means that they can take the fight in bot lane.
Trolling You, you're getting
He's
a
gonna
little
be
bit
okay.
hot.
He's gonna be taken a little bit low, but he's gonna be okay. But they're just playing the map so well. They bring their jungler down to Dragon. That immediately allows them to walk on to that bot side, get another great executed dive, and burn Escape's flash once again. Continuously being vulnerable to the cease and desist allows Total Trash to get yet another huge advantage, sitting 3-0-3 on the Vi this early in.
Yep, there we go. We got Trolling once again fighting here in this top lane. However, both members are looking for this engage. We've got the ultimate getting knocked out. That is going to be Anti knocked in the air. Brittle stacks come out, and the burning from Guilty is just going to mean that because there is no MR on this Aurelia, it just gets melted. And then we've got a huge push onto this Rift Herald as they're like, look, we gave up the first one. We're not letting Shirley go to you. No. You got Shelly. We get Shirley. So that is going to be a very big advantage for Art of War. They are going to basically have free reign on this map. And once again, we are seeing a 5K gold lead at 16 minutes. Like, this is just absolutely nuts. We are seeing the bounties come online, but are they going to be enough? I'm not entirely sure.
Yeah, and it feels to me like this game has been dictated by AWE. They feel faster and sharper on the play. They're moving around these objectives so incredibly well. You know, they're contesting every single dragon and Rift Herald, which is their right when you're playing with a Rumble who gets, you know, massive power spikes around those early team fights. And it just feels like RLS has been on the back foot this entire time. They have not been able to, you know, find that 1v1 skirmish that they were hoping for Anti on that top side. They've been unable to unlock Cowrie out of the mid lane and, you know, join those early skirmishes around the river. And it just feels like their team composition is kind of falling apart. Guilty, though, just going to be able to walk away here.
Relatively easy. Same thing here in the top lane. Anti is going to get stunned, but they're going to be able to dash fairly far away, so they're totally fine with that. It's really been interesting. I feel like both of these games, the draft has been key. We are seeing Anti getting brittled. They are going to be very risky spot. They're going to have to flash away.
This is a good
we
flash.
do have a massive ultimate dropped by them, and that is going to be a missed ult knock up from Ornn. That is going to be devastating. We do see Anti picking up the kill, Cowrie picking up that kill, and we see Anti trying to get the other on Ornn, not able to find it. That is going to be brutal for Art of War. That is a really good pickup for RLS. They are very happy about that.
Yeah, and, you know, Cowrie finally able to find the moment to get a good teleport in, affect one of these side lanes, and walk away without losing too much for it, right? You know, in the past, when we've seen RLS go for these plays to try and support Anti on the top side, that's given Total Trash free reign to, like, play the cross map, get an objective, get an early dragon. But this time, the best that they can do is have a mid shove in that bottom wave, and that's going to be easily picked up with a recall. Riri, though, now the target.
Riri getting caught out and burst down to nothing means that bailout is going to do very little for them, and they're going to have to go back to base with no gold.
Yeah. And this is what RLS. Escape, man, you got to change your name back. It messes me up every single time, and I hate it. Give me back the Ford Fusion or the Escape of old. Anyways, this team, this is what they want to do, right? They want to find skirmishes. Rakan and Sejuani and Vex, these are all characters that can land really great single target CC on somebody and then just slam into them and burst them before they get the opportunity to play. Tef finally able to find that first kill on the board. I cannot wait to see if RLS is able to bring more to table as Dragon is spawning in 20 seconds.
Yeah, with that Dragon spawn, it's basically controlled by Art of War. They're kind of looking to take it. Trollsing is just doing a great job putting pressure on this top lane, not letting Anti roam, which is really, really devastating. We do have Baron coming up here momentarily. I love these Hex Gates because they're going to allow for so much cross-map play. Look at this. This is what RLS has to do. Trollsing you is going to go down here, but it's going to take them a few seconds here. We do have a great Frozen, but unfortunately comes out just a little bit early. We are going to see Trollsing taken out. No one is going to die for it, but that is 5 members in the top lane, which means that Art of War is like, okay, I guess we just take Dragon and get number 2 in our pocket.
Yeah, but this is the proactivity that RLS has been missing this game. This is a time where they're making the play, and Anti going in 1v2.
Great TP on this bot lane. We do have so much burn coming out. The flash and the shot down means Guilty's like, look, you want to do something crazy and be proactive, that's fine, but you can't be disrespecting me like that. They do pick up 2 towers top lane, which is going to be really, really good cracking this open, but they lose so much across the rest of the map.
I feel like RLS, they had the right idea, right? Their idea is, we are not strong enough to contest this 3rd dragon. We have to do something with our time. We have 2 pink wards already established on that top side. Let's just kill the heck out of the Ornn. And they did manage to do that. But they do not properly allocate their resources immediately after the play. What they need to do is they need to send multiple members back, and they're unable to do so in time. Anti goes a little bit too aggressive, loses his life in that bot side, and a mid even able to pick up the inhibitor turret in mid lane means that RLS's plan did not go the way that they were hoping.
Unfortunate, unfortunate. You hate to see it, but that is something Art of War is perfectly fine with. They're like, yeah, I got this. It's all good. It's all good, fam. And now we're going to see an engage here in the top lane. Tef drops the ultimate, drops the dash. We are going to jump in right in on a mid. Unfortunately, there's no or Riri to bail him out right now, but we do have the TP coming out from the Ornn. They're going to jump right in there. Anti picks up the kill, taking a mid down. Ornn misses the knockup, but they do take Aurelia out. That is going to be devastating for RLS. I think they're going to lose this top tower here. And unfortunately, Tef trying to get away is going to get caught by the season desist. They're going to be walking over the equalizer, taking so much burn damage. And unfortunately, the Krugs doing some extra work as well. War Leader is going to be trying to save their allies, trying to get away, not going to be able to. That is going to be kill as Guilty dashes in with a Hex Deck Belt. The missiles finding the target. And now Sejuani is trapped under this tower. Kai'Sa's like, look, I got to do something somewhere, so I'm going to take this mid lane turret. We're going to see Vex pushing in on this bot lane, but Cowrie just doesn't quite have the damage yet. We don't have that AP scaling online for these tower shots, and that is going to be a Baron for Art of War. They're like, look, we got this. Their jungler is still up, but we can totally take them. It's a 4v1.
Yeah, so War Leader, no vision in the pit, finally drops the pink ward here. But once again, it's RLS who picks up two turrets, just one right now.
No, actually, they're taking a long time to pick this up, so they might not be able to afford that. We are seeing a TP get dropped. That is going to be Vex coming.
Ape is here as well.
That is very well done. They have basically a leashed Baron right now. Ornn is going to get a knockup on
the
Escape. Kai'Sa's taking a lot of damage, but unfortunately, Escape is going to get caught taking a lot of damage. War Leader caught by the hostile takeovers, brought back under the Baron pit, and that is going to be a huge amount of damage as we see the jungler taken out. Double kill over for the Vi as they pick that up. Oh my goodness. That went very poorly for RLS. They're not able to continue the contest. The arrow is going to find the snipe. Amid picking up the kill. Tef getting burst down as well, and that is going to be huge. Exceptionally well played. Art of War turning that around. The peaks and valleys of that fight, absolutely insane.
AWE, they know what they need to do at every single instance. This team looks to be superior. They are proving why they were the #2 seed in Heroic League, why they earned that round 1 buy slot, and they are just smurfing on RLS. RLS, you know, they have these good ideas. They're going for these good plays. They notice that AWE doesn't have their star member, Amid, not there at the Baron pit, so maybe they can make something happen. They commit Cowrie's teleport, but AWE's disengage is too strong. They're unable to find those resets on the Vex. Vex gets taken out, and because RLS comes from inside the Baron pit, they're the ones who take the Baron damage, and ultimately it's AWE who is in the position of strength to take that fight.
My goodness, this is not the way I expected Game 2 to go. Art of War demanding control of this lead. This Baron push is going to be devastating for RLS. The really late folks are not able to scale into this, I don't think. It's going to be very, very scary as things continue to progress. The Soul is basically, I think, given over to Art of War. I do not believe there is any way for RLS to contest this. Art of War has just schooled them on this game.
Yeah, and luxury items coming in now for AWE. They know that they are in the lead and they are trying to keep it. Warden's Mail picked up for the Varus to allow him to live longer against Antai's dive. The stopwatch already in the inventory of Guilty to once again allow him to survive those extra couple of seconds and make these fights even harder for RLS to find those close victories.
Yep, and you've got the enhanced version of the shield bow onto Varus as well, so that's even more survivability. You've already got the ornament down onto the frozen gauntlet, so that's going to be doing a lot of extra damage. It's just, there's so much that RLS is going to have to overcome as this game continues, and unfortunately that's, what is that, like 6k, 5k gold lead? It feels like so much more if you're fighting against this team, especially with the Baron buff.
Yeah, this could be it. This could be the final push of the second game between these two titans. AWE up 5,000 gold, up Hextech Soul. Actually, you know, pushing down the mid lane, has the inhibitor already down. Guilty going to go ahead and pick up a blue buff for himself. AWE can choose to spend their money here if they would like to and play it ultra safe, and I think that's what they're going to choose to do.
That's the best play because there's really not a lot for them to do on the map because they've got to push these waves out. We have a great wave clear on the side of RLS. You get Aurelia on one of these side lanes, that wave's going to just disappear instantaneously, Baron buffer no. And then you're going to have Kai'Sa able to just do a lot as well. That's one of the things Art of War is going to have a lot of trouble with, is just getting these waves pushed out into a opportune position when there's no objective on the field. Elder Drake is up here in about 4 minutes 45 seconds. That is going to be a huge play if this next Baron doesn't go over to one side or the other. I think we're going to see a trade between the two. And if RLS picks up that Elder Drake, that could spell the end of the game and a complete reversal.
AWE, has the initiative though, and they need to take advantage of their time because you do not want to coin flip at Elder. You would much rather prefer to leverage your 5,000 gold lead now and get down those early structures. I really like how they're positioning their members right now. Guilty's in the side lane getting that bot side pushed. They have the Ornn join with them because Ornn is such a critical part of getting fights started for them, as well as a mid pushing up towards this last exposed tier 2 tower, and it is RLS's prerogative to try and hold this push.
One thing I really love to see during these heroic games is just how high the vision score is. I'm a little upset that Varus still has yellow trinket, but I understand why. But it's one of those things where it's just, I love how we're seeing so much vision control from both of these teams in order to make sure that they're making sure that they're not blindly walking into these jungles. Unfortunately, there's so much pressure from Art of War that even though RLS knows where they are, there's not a whole lot they're able to do to stop that 4-man push. In the meantime, you've got Rumble here in the mid lane trying to push things out in the mid wave.
Okay, so AWE, this could be their moment. If they wanted to push in that top side, they could play for the fight around that top lane inhibitor turret, but instead choosing to back off. They want to play it slow and steady. They want this Baron to be the next objective of choice. And, this will give an opportunity for RLS to maybe get that mid inhibitor respawned before this fight happens. So AWE playing it a little bit safe here. Will pick up a couple of really big pickups, though. The ornaments starting to come in now on 4 of the 5 members on all of those damage dealers. Magi's as well picked up for Guilty, feeling confident with the stopwatch and inventory as both teams prepare for the Baron in just 20 seconds.
That's going to be a exceptionally exciting fight, and one thing that these Hex Gates allow is some really interesting flanks if you're able to sneak it. So you can basically kind of jump to the other side of the pits. You can kind of be like, it's okay, we already know where they are. Try and catch somebody out in their jungle where they're not expecting you to be, or flank around the other side coming across this mid lane. It's going to be really interesting to see if either side decides to go that route. I do like the vision control that's on the side of Art of War. They're basically aware of where everybody is. Or Riri not finding a hook. They are going to see the Shurelya's drop, so that is going to be some speed boost. That is not the ultimate, though. So they didn't see a target, but they did get sped up into this fight. But that is a key item that has been dropped. The equalizer is down as well. The cease and desist finds Cowrie. They are not able to get the shot up. A huge hostile takeover finds multiple members of RLS. They're getting absolutely shredded. So many members going down. The knockup does not manage to take Escape down. He's going to get burned so devastatingly, but the brittle stack does not do enough. But that is going to be 4 members of Art of War still alive. Only 2 left for RLS. Inhibitor's going to fall, and that is going to be them rotating back over to this, or they might just decide to go and push for the end.
Game.
They're going to try
should be game. A mid has to play this safe, has to stay alive, but War Leader, without the ultimate, that should be it.
Mid going golden. Escape, managed to survive for a couple more seconds, but not long enough. The bailout is on him in case he accidentally gets hit by the tower. That is going to be the tower burst down. That is going to be game number 2 over to Art of War. They are on match point as the Nexus falls, and that is going to be going into game 3, a very scary position for really late signups.
Yeah, AWE looks, and the thing is, these aren't even close games, right? When I went into this matchup, I expected RLS AWE to be a banger match. I expected these teams to be brawling one another, duking it out, trying to mash together these team fights around these objectives. But AWE in both this game and the previous game have gotten exceptionally large leads and like basically shut out the game before it even began. Before the first dragon even spawns, they're up kills and they're up CS. Going into game 3, RLS will need to make some adjustments. They've got to find the strategy that works for them. I thought that if any game was going to be good for them, it was this one with War Leader on Sejuani and Anti on the Aurelia, but clearly that's not enough. They're going to have to put together something really special if they want to claw back from the 0-2 deficit.
And I am excited to see it. I'm looking forward to it. Folks, don't go away. Stick around. We got at least one more game coming up. We could be seeing a reverse sweep, though, so stick around. We will be right back.
You